Episode 53B. U.S. States. In Chicago, Illinois, a wood-burning pizza oven fire caused minor damage at a Waldorf Astoria, Chicago hotel. In Brownwood, Texas, a wood-burning stove started a fire caused damage exceeding $1 million in an auto collision repair shop. The Wisconsin Conservation Congress called for statewide resolutions to be submitted by March 1, 2023. In Canada, in the province of British Columbia, the city of Courtenay installed a network of PM2.5 sensors to detect wood burning and launched an education campaign about the health effects of wood smoke. Why can't we totally eliminate air pollution? American Council on Science and Health. American Council on Science and Health. PM is the most complex of the criteria pollutants. The collected masses of particles with median diameters of 10 micrometers, PM10, or 2.5 micrometers, PM2.5. Impact of ambient air pollution on physical activity and sedentary behavior in children. BMC Public Health, Biomed Central. A 10 micrograms per cubic meter increase in air pollution concentration in daily PM2.5 was associated with a reduction in daily PA by 7.51, 95% CI equals minus 11.04. Fires of winter, U.S. Forest Service. USDA Forest Service. A wildland firefighter with a propane bottle and torch burning a pile of wood and other plant debris start to burn slowly when firefighters. Illinois, Chicago. Small ventilation fire causes minor damage at Waldorf Astoria Hotel in Gold Coast, CFD. ABC 7 Chicago. Spokesperson Larry Langford said the fire started in a ventilation chute for a wood-burning pizza oven. The heat from the oven apparently ignited. Minnesota. Roz Epview, the general manager of the Minnesota Public Utility Commission, should follow the science and agree with the scientific evidence that biomass burning is not net zero, since it produces as much or more carbon, PM2.5, as coal burning or other fossil fuel burning. How small city utilities are grappling with Minnesota's new 100% carbon-free standard. MinPost. Since 2021, most of the city's power has been generated by burning wood chips and mulch, up to 9,000 tons a month, largely from a local pallet. Excerpt. Hibbing has a biomass plant, while Princeton has backup diesel generators. Could they and other city utilities be forced to find alternative power sources? Excerpt. But the biggest question mark for Hibbing is whether their biomass will ultimately be considered carbon-free or carbon-neutral. The Minnesota House Majority Leader, who was prime sponsor of the 100% bill in the House, said lawmakers intentionally did not weigh in on whether a wood-burning plant should be considered carbon-free. The law can give a utility partial credit for carbon-free power, meaning if the Public Utilities Commission, PUC, decided a technology was 95% carbon-free, that utility would need to offset less through buying energy credits. Asked if he considered the Hibbing plant to be carbon-free, the majority leader said, "That's an important question for the Public Utilities Commission. I think that it would probably be something that would depend on the source material and how it's produced," Long said. "You do have carbon coming out at the end from burning wood. So it would be a question of whether or not a utility wants to make an argument that there is a sink on the other side and that is therefore a carbon-reducing or carbon-free technology." The general manager of Hibbing Public Utilities, meanwhile, said he hopes legislators tweak the law. "I'm trusting our state policymakers to make clear that biomass is net zero," he said. North Carolina, Leland. Leland Council requests open burning regulations, Port City Daily. Port City Daily. Bozeman said she received a recent picture from a resident showing wood smoke so thick in the air the house next door was barely visible from his. Excerpt. Bozeman said she received a recent picture from a resident showing wood smoke so thick in the air the house next door was barely visible from his own yard. For multiple days in the past few weeks, wood smoke has permeated the Westgate and Waterford areas of the town, resulting in noticeable visual haze and smell. North Carolina. Turpin advises on new EPA guidance to protect communities from harmful pollution. Gilling School of Global Public Health. When fine particles, also known as PM2.5 or soot, are inhaled, they carry risk of serious health impacts, including asthma, heart attacks, and excerpt. Finally, new research provides additional confidence in PM2.5 effect estimates, even at low concentrations. When fine particles, also known as PM2.5 or soot, are inhaled, they carry risk of serious health impacts, including asthma, heart attacks, and premature death. This pollution disproportionately affects vulnerable populations in the U.S., including children, older adults, those with heart or lung conditions, as well as communities of color and low-income communities. These particles may be emitted directly from sources like construction sites, unpaved roads, fields, smokestacks, or fires. Texas, Brownwood. Wood burning determined as cause of Chrysler collision fire. Estimated damage exceeds $1 million. Brownwood News. Wood burning determined as cause of Chrysler collision fire. Estimated damage exceeds $1 million. February 15, 2023 at 4:54 p.m. Derek Stuckley. Wood burning stove determined as cause of Chrysler collision fire. Estimated damage exceeds $1 million. The family dog was inside the building during the fire and was rescued with no injuries. The owner also had 9 customer vehicles and 1 personal vehicle inside the shop at the time of the fire. The structure was deemed unsafe due to potential roof collapse. Fire units were on scene 2 hours and 7 minutes. The cause of the fire was determined to be a wood-burning stove, and the fire was unintentional in nature. Damages are estimated at $1,050,000. Utah. Snow and haze in Utah. NASA Earth Observatory. NASA Earth Observatory. The Environmental Protection Agency's EPA Air Now system measured fine particulate matter, PM2.5, rising above 100 on the Air Quality Index. Virginia. EPA poised to botch update of important air quality rule. Appalachian Voices. Appalachian Voices. Tell the EPA you support stronger limits for airborne particulate matter. EPA has proposed replacing the current PM2.5 annual average standard of 12. Excerpts from the article follow. EPA poised to botch update of important air quality rule. EPA's own scientific advisors point out that a standard of 8 micrograms per cubic meter would prevent about 5,000 more premature deaths each year as compared to 9 micrograms per cubic meter. Exposure to, and inhalation of, soot leads to increased mortality rates, hospitalizations, and visits to the emergency room. It is also linked to grave illnesses and health risks, including asthma attacks, heart attacks, stroke, heart disease, COPD, Parkinson's disease, dementia, low birth weight, greater risk of preterm birth, and higher rates of infant mortality. Hispanic individuals are 25% more likely to die of particulate matter exposure than white individuals are. Black individuals are 300% more likely. EPA could reduce the black mortality rate from PM2.5 pollution by 37% if it sets the standard at 8 micrograms per cubic meter. Contrast that to the higher end of EPA's proposed 9 to 10 microgram range, which will only lead to a 6% reduction in mortality, Earth Justice reports. Please join Appalachian Voices in calling on the EPA to do its part and finalize a PM2.5 rule no higher than 8 micrograms per cubic meter. EPA is accepting public comment on the proposed rule until March 28, 2023. Virginia, Lynchburg. Statewide 4 p.m. burning ban in effect. Lynchburg News and Advance. Lynchburg News and Advance. A 4 p.m. burning law began February